I am back for a long-awaited collection update video. So I've actually had to re-record this. I recorded this about a week or two ago, and then when I went to go upload it, I realized there was no audio. So it was just me talking and you not knowing what the hell I was saying. And that has been an issue that I've been having for every video that I've been recording. So finally, I decided to set up a different computer because I have two. I have a gaming computer that I do all of my stuff on, and then I have a regular MacBook laptop that I use for like when I'm traveling and sitting on the couch and other things that I can take with me. So I finally set that up, and I think it's working now. So I just gotta troubleshoot my PC and figure out what's going on with OBS and the microphone and other things. It might just be some hardware stuff that I need to update. So yeah, that essentially killed my motivation to record videos. But I'm back. It's Friday. Happy Friday. I've got some time today after having a very chaotic schedule as always, and it's just going to get worse. I'll be honest with you guys. Next month is November, obviously, and November starts probably one of the most busiest and chaotic time for me and my family. Aside from the holidays, there's just a bunch of other stuff that we have going on, like every single weekend, and then during the week is work and stuff like that. So I'll try my best to get videos out, but no promises. Unfortunately, my YouTube channel is suffering due to my lack of being able to record things, but whatever. So I do have the long-awaited collection update. I am going to talk about some things that I tried to talk about a while ago, a couple weeks ago, and then I've got some new stuff that came in that I'll talk about on here as well. So we'll go ahead and get started. So the first thing that I wanted to spend most of my time on today, what is that? Oh, that's my cat. Sorry. Was a new release that I got a promo copy for from Blood Harvest Records. So thank you guys for sending that to me. I don't generally do reviews, as you guys know. Every once in a while I will. But for the most part, I got the promo copy, so I've had the digital version for a while, but this just came out. Let me pull up some tabs here so I can talk about releases and when this came out and where the band is from and all that stuff, so that way y'all have the right information. So I've had this for several weeks, but the record actually just dropped September 23rd, so it was several weeks ago. And this is easily probably going to be my favorite death metal record of the year, aside from some of the others that I've already called out on here. Then there's one that is coming that I really am excited to get. So I'm back into the death metal realm. For a while there, I was feeling a little bit burnt out on death metal, not as excited to listen to new releases, just wasn't doing anything for me. Recently, just kind of went into a little bit of a slump with that. Was only listening to older stuff that I've had in my collection for a long time. Some stuff that I've, like classics like Incantation, Immolation, Death, those types of records, and just not really into the new stuff. And then Mortuous came out with an album, which we'll talk about when I finally get it, and who else? Sedimentum, Flesh Rot, and then Phobophilic. They all started releasing these records, and these are all bands that I've been anxiously waiting for, and that really started to get me into the new death metal releases. Maul is another one too. So this is the new Gutvoid album. So out on Blood Harvest Records, there is a tape and a CD currently, but there is a vinyl pre-order up, and the vinyl is not expected to be released until like the end of January. So, but I am going to get that because this album is simply fantastic. They did the all-over print on the tape, which I really love that labels are starting to do that. So this is called Durance of Lightless Horizons. Durance of Lightless Horizons. So this is their debut album. They've had an EP out previously, and then they've done a couple of things, splits and stuff like that. This is Daniel Bonifiglio. I think that's how you say your last name. And then Brendan Dean. Brendan is Puke Wraith and Fumes. Daniel is Fumes and 10,000 other bands. So this is their band together, and this is probably my favorite music that they make, with the exception of their solo projects like Intestinal Hex and Puke Wraith and stuff like that. But this is their debut album, and it did not disappoint. So let me just show you the artwork here. It is by the amazing Adam Burke. No relation, although sometimes I like to pretend that we are related. Nightmare imagery. Is that what your Nightjar illustration? Nightmare imagery is a totally different artist. Nightjar illustration on social media. Adam Burke. Amazing artist. So that's the album cover. I'm excited to get the vinyl, simply, well, one, because I love the album, but two, because I also love the album artwork. So that's the panel, and then the lyrics are on the other side. So basically, like I said, I've really enjoyed the previous music that they put out on their 4-way split that they did a while back with Bloodspore and all those other bands. I'm blanking right now because, of course, I'm recording and I can't think of words when I record. And then they had an EP out before this. Was it an EP or demo? I don't know. People get upset with me like when I don't say the album correctly. Like, that was an EP. No, that was a demo. Like, you fucks are so neurotic about shit. Like, when it comes to stuff, it was an EP. All right, that's what it was. It was called Astro Bestiary, and that was also out on Blood Harvest as well. And that is a really good EP. So I was excited, and then they have they did 4 dimensions of Auditory Terror, which I reviewed on here, and that was with Bloodspore, Coagulate, and Soul Devourment. So, and the song that they did on there was awesome. That was actually probably one of my favorite ones on that split. Not to say I didn't like the other ones, but that was the one that I really enjoyed a lot. So I was really excited for this album, and it was really good. It's really good. I love it. It's a very doomy type of death metal, I will say. I wouldn't say it's fully blown doom, but there's definitely a lot of elements inside of there. The songs are longer. The opening song, Coils of Gas-Hewn Filament, yeah, death metal songs, man, is 9 minutes long. And for me personally, when I first heard that song, which is essentially my favorite song right now, I thought this should be the album closer. Like, it's such an epic song. But then I went on and listened to the rest of the album, and the final song, Wandering Dungeon, which is almost 15 minutes long, was like, okay, yeah, that's a good album ending. So every single song is not your typical 3 to 4 minute song length. It's the shortest song on here is 5 minutes and 28 seconds, Skeletal Glyph. That song fucking kicks ass. Pretty much, I love every song on this album. I am biased to the first song. I think it's phenomenal. I love the guitar hooks in there. The guitar work on this is great. The drummer is goddamn nasty on this album. Just superb. And I absolutely love this album. I really do. And I didn't have really any... I try not to have too much bias going into it when I listen to it. Obviously, I love Brendan and Daniel, and I talk about them a lot on here, and I love all the music that they've created, and I really try to promote it as much as I can. So it was no surprise that this ended up being, one of my favorite albums of the year. Just simply phenomenal. I've been listening to it nonstop, along with 2 other albums that we'll talk about when I finally get them on vinyl. But yeah, it is a really good album. If you're looking for a newer death metal record that goes a little bit into the caverns, the deep, dark caverns, because there's a lot of cavernous feel to this album, you'll really enjoy this. If you're not bothered by the longer song length, if you're not bothered by the fact that there's just a lot of riffs and very intelligent music writing, and it's not just, heavy blast beats and growling, you're going to love this album. And I think that's probably one of the reasons why I love it so much, is because it's a very thought-provoking album. You can tell that a lot of attention to detail went into writing it, and I love it. So what I'm going to start doing in these videos now, and take a little bit more time to edit them, since I'm not going to be uploading so many, so I'll make this a little bit more nice, is I'm going to upload a little tiny small clip after I talk about albums, so you can get a general gist of what it sounds like, enough to evade the copyright infringement that YouTube has. I'm learning. Been talking to some YouTubers. I'm learning. So yes, I'll be doing similar to what Canyon Bickle does to his videos. He talks about an album, he shows it off, and then he plays like a very small clip. I'm going to start doing that. I really want people to just hear a small clip of it. But if you like what you hear, I'll link everything in the description. It's still available. It has not sold out. And the great thing about Blood Harvest Records is that, yeah, they're out in Sweden, so it does take a little bit longer to get your stuff. The shipping is reasonable. In fact, it's pretty much in line of buying something in the US. So it just takes a little bit longer. So keep that in mind. Don't let that discourage you from buying anything. Will there be any US distros available? I'm not sure. I'll reach out and I'll ask them. But for the most part, you can get it on Blood Harvest, you can get it on Bandcamp. Blood Harvest website's usually slightly, just a little bit cheaper because there's no Bandcamp fees that they're trying to get back. And there's t-shirts with the amazing artwork, which I'm probably going to get that as well. And yeah, it's a really, really great album. So small clip right now. The next thing that I have that I wanted to talk about is just, it was a cash grab in my opinion. It was just, let's make some money. Let's just put out some music and make some money. So this was just basically a collection to keep up with the collection. And this is Incantation's new release. What the hell was this called again? Tricennial of Blasphemy. Basically, this is a comp of unreleased music and early music and live shows and whatever else. It's 2 discs. It's got 31 songs out on Relapse Records, and nothing phenomenal, I'll tell you that. It's good music. It's Incantation. They're consistent. They're obviously one of the best death metal bands to ever exist, but for the most part, it's a cash grab. That's pretty much what I feel with this, but it's good music, and if you're a fan, this is something that you'll want to get in your collection. There is a vinyl version of it. I only have their music on CDs, so I figured I'll just keep up with the save format, and I picked up the CDs. It's got a really nice booklet of all the lyrics and, you know, photo collages and information on like what these were. Like there's a Live in Cleveland song. There's like a bunch of live songs, and they're good. Like the band's just a flawless band. You really can't go wrong with Incantation. So this was like, again, just, you know, hey, they released it. There's some stuff I don't have on CD yet. I'll grab it. It's everywhere. It's not sold out, and the vinyl version is pretty cool. But again, I don't own any of this stuff on vinyl, and I don't want to start trying to collect this on vinyl now because I'm trying so hard not to start doing that stuff anymore. So I'm not gonna do a clip of this, just because this will probably get me rocked on YouTube. I think Relapse has a lot of the algorithm stuff, and they'll catch it. But you know what Incantation sounds like. I don't need to preview that for you. So, and then finally, the last CD I got is from Redefining Darkness. This is a new like grindcore supergroup called Kill Division. Peace Through Tyranny. Let me actually pull up what this band is, because I'm not gonna pretend like I know everything. Out of Florida. This is their first full length. They had a couple singles out before. The band consists of Jermaine Kling. Not familiar with him, although I know that he's in Inhuman Condition. That's probably the only thing that I recognize. Dirk something is on drums, and he's in about 5,000 bands. He plays with Devin Townsend live. He's done stuff with Megadeth. Gus Rios, and then Kyle Simmons. Kyle is the one that I think a lot of people, he's Malevolent Creation. Like I think that was, the one name that stuck out, and the reason why I checked this out for the most part. But yeah, it's like a grindcore supergroup. It's a new grindcore album. I grabbed the CD. I think there might have been vinyl as well. This just came out not that long ago, several weeks ago. Let me see. September 16th. So basically, you can get the general gist of what this album is based off of the album there. There you go. We've got the president is that a dildo? Yes, licking a dildo, and then Trump with a dildo as well. Okay, cool. Yeah, all right. So yeah, you can pretty much get the general gist of what this album entails. It's got some nice lyrics in here. There you go. There's your daily dose of dildo, which is warranted with those two men in that picture. So yeah, it's really good. It's a fun listen. It's grindcore. It sounds phenomenal. I'm excited that I got this. I've been listening to this quite a bit. I've been, like I said, this is the year of grindcore. I've been saying that since the very beginning. It's most of my favorite albums to be released this year are grindcore records, and this is probably going to be high up there. Not gonna lie. So enjoy the small little clip. So just one tape and 2 CDs, and then the rest are vinyl. The rest, I say, there are 3. Big money. But yeah, I haven't been getting a whole lot of vinyl in lately. Just been getting a lot of hole fillers. When I do buy stuff, I've decided to buy quality versus quantity. Before, I was impulse buying quantity. Now it's quality. I listen to it. I take my time. Do I really want this on vinyl? Yes, I buy it. That's what I'm doing now. And I've realized, like, there's a little small stack back there. Those are ones that I've had for several weeks. Like, they're not death metal. It's mostly black metal and grindcore. So I got a dedicated video to those. But yeah, these aren't death metal, really. Well, one of them is. But yeah. So anyway, the first one is the new Vermin Womb record. This is called Retaliation on Closed Casket Activities. So Vermin Womb is phenomenal. This record is great. I absolutely love it. And let me just pull up a little bit more information here, because I don't remember how many albums they have out now. One other one called Decline. I don't own that, but I would love to, because I really did love that album. So band is out of Denver, Colorado, and if you're not familiar with Vermin Womb, this is very like blackened death metal grindcore with some little bit of noise in there. It's chaotic. It's fucking chaotic. It looks like they were out on Translation Lost Records previously, but this is Primitive Man's main guy, his other band. He does guitars and vocals, and then there's other members from bands that I'm not too familiar with. I'm just more familiar with the Primitive Man connection to this. So I was really excited to get this, and I've had it for a while. Like, this came out, when did this come out? September 2nd. So all these releases have come out in September. So as you can see, we're pumping up the jams now for the rest of the year. It's this really cool pinwheel splatter. I think it looks awesome. There were several other variants, but this is the one that I liked the most. And I'm not sure if these are sold out or not. I know it was a very highly anticipated record. I know a lot of people were hyped about it, but it is just auditory assault on your ears. It's exactly what you would expect if you're familiar with Vermin Womb. It's a very, very good album. I've really enjoyed it. This will probably be a top release again this year. There is a little sheetsy there of some very ominous imagery here, and then a little bit of liner notes. So yeah, it is exactly what I expected. Ethan, that's who his name. I was blanking on the name. The guy from Primitive Man. And yeah, it's chaotic. It's dark. It assaults your ears, but it's so good. And I really, really enjoyed this record. I love their logo. I think it looks sick. I really like their logo, and I want to get a t-shirt with that. The only problem is, I have a pretty gnarly seam split there. Whoever packaged this shipped the record in the jacket, which is a big no-no. And that's not very common for closed casket. Like, I don't usually have that issue. Usually it comes very well protected. But so somebody might have just been working the midnight oil trying to get these releases out, because they've been releasing something new like every freaking week, it seems like. Closed casket has gotten my money quite a bit this year. That came out around the same time as well, now I'm blanking, of course, because I'm recording a video and I can't remember anything. But yeah, Great album if you're into like that chaotic, really dark, just shredding grindcore with like some blackened black metal infused into it. You'll really, really like that album. And of course the clip. So, next up is the highly anticipated, the one that I've been waiting for, the one that everybody I feel like has been talking about, along with Sedimentum, is the new Phobophilic Enveloping Absurdity out on Prosthetic Records. So, Phobophilic released a split with Sedimentum on Rotted Life. They also had, was it a EP or was it considered a demo? It was an EP called Undimensional Identities. It sells out quick. You can't find it anywhere. I have it on tape. I've shown it off on here several times. I've shown off the split Horrific Manifestations with Sedimentum. Just a very, very, sorry about that. Very, very good death metal band out of North Dakota. And this is a very good record. A very good debut record that I'm not surprised that I enjoyed it the slightest. Like I said, I really, really loved their stuff that they've released previously with the EP. And it's your horror theme type of, almost a little bit of cavernous death metal, that murky death metal sound, a little bit of no dooming. Like, this is just good death metal. Like, if you know Phobophilic, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm really failing at words. I really wish my original video would have worked, because I definitely spoke a lot more precise in that video. I'm tired today. So yeah, it's this like black cloudy with the red blob. I think it looks fucking horrible. So if anybody from Prosthetic is watching this, maybe talk to your pressing plant and let them know that this just is awful looking vinyl. But I don't care. Obviously I bought it for the music, but if you look up the mock-up, it looks like it's just a plain black wax vinyl, like completely solid black with the red blob in the middle, which I feel like shouldn't be, too far off for what you get in the mail. And then I opened this up and I'm like, that is literally nothing compared to what I was expecting. But again, I bought it for the music. I don't really care about the variants. But at this rate, I wish I had just bought plain black wax. I'm not gonna lie, just because when I opened this, I was like, God, that's fucking awful. Being super critical of the color. Printed inner sheet here with pictures of the guys. There you go, and then lyrics on the other side. Who did the album artwork? Because it looks familiar. Don't know who that is. Jonas something. I'm not too sure. But yeah, really, really great death metal album. Will it be one of my favorites this year? It hasn't quite clicked with me that much yet to say it'll be like a top 5 album for me. Definitely going to be one of my favorites to release this year for sure, because I feel like it's great. I need to spin it a couple more times. I got it fairly recently. This just came out, because that's what everything I'm showing is. This came out September 16th, but it took a while to get. Like, they released it and I didn't get the vinyl until like almost about a week or two ago. So I'm not sure what the reason around that was. But yeah, Prosthetic Records. I know some people have some thoughts on Prosthetic. They're not huge fans of their vinyl quality. I've just seen quite a bit of complaints about Prosthetic on Instagram and group chats and stuff like that. This is really nice quality. It sounds great. The jacket's in perfect condition. They shipped it fine. I did have an Undeath record that I got, Legions of whatever that record was called. That came and it was in a horrible mailer. It was so thin and I was worried about the vinyl because of the mailer that they used, but the vinyl was fine. So, but I've just seen some other stuff about Prosthetic that people have complained about, but I have not had any issues, and I think that vinyl is in perfect condition. So Phobophilic, check them out. All right, and the final record that I'm going to blab on about is a new release that just came out today officially. So I didn't originally record this in my first video, but since it came out today, I figured I would throw it in there since I already have it. I got this several days ago, so the thing that I love about 20 Buck Spin is that they do their best to try and get the vinyl to you before the physical, like the actual release date, if they have it in stock, and that's amazing. And this is the new Daeva, I think is how you say their name, called Through Sheer Will and Black Magic. So this is technically more of a black metal themed album, but it's Blackened Thrash. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to throw it into this collection update. I don't really give a fuck. And this album is solid. Very good Blackened Thrash. I don't know dick about this band. I'm not gonna lie. I saw them release like the promo stuff for it. And I was like, who is this? They only have one other EP out before that came out in 2017. And let me see. Oh, there's guys from Crypt Sermon in this. Well, that makes sense. Yep, that makes absolute sense. Okay, so Frank and Enrique and Steve from Crypt Sermon are all in this band. Well, that makes sense because the guitars are phenomenal. It is just a really fun, speed, just fast, blackened thrash metal, and they do it really, really well. This is a phenomenal release. I was not expecting to like it as much as I did. I actually previewed and listened to the singles before I decided to buy this. And the first like two that they released, I was like, oh, I'm gonna buy this. Like I said, I got this several days ago. I've been listening to it every single day since then. It's this really cool splatter blob thing. I think this is still available if you want this variant. And it's phenomenal. This is going to be so high up on my releases this year. If you're into the Blackened Thrash metal, you'll really, really like this album. They do the genre justice. There you go. Right, and then the lyrics on the other side, nice and glossy printed inner sheet. So yeah, this officially comes out today. Just a really, really great album. The guys are out of Philadelphia, so it's a U.S. 20 Buck Spin. I've been told can be hard to get for my friends out in the UK, but I think they're starting to have more of a distribution out there. So I'm not too sure where you can get it out there, but this is still available. It has not sold out yet. 20 Buck Spin is pumping out the music right now because they dropped two things within the last 2 weeks. The new Dream Unending album and the new Worm. I have those on pre-order. Those are... Have you heard that new Worm song? Jesus Christ, I'm so excited. And the new Dream Unending song sounds amazing too. So last year we ended with them. This year we're ended with them. But back to this anyway. This is a really, really great album. Check it out if you're really into blackened thrash metal in general. I think the black metal is just an added bonus into this. The black metal infusion, whatever you want to call it. Great album. So that is all that I have. Hope you enjoyed the long-awaited collection update. Like I said, I'm going to add clips of the songs in here. You probably already watched them. I don't know why I'm saying this again. But thank you all for the support. And I will try to get videos up as much as possible. I know I need to finish my CD collection videos. But yeah, that's it. I will see you in the next one.